think all of us thought it was inappropriate,
improper.
Shocked, appalled.
Unusual.
Everyone was in the loop.
I couldn't believe it.
Now, there is one witness that they won't bring in front of us. They won't bring in front of the American people. And that's the guy who started it all, the whistleblower.
I'd be glad to have the person who started it all come in and testify. President Trump is welcome to take a seat right there.
A member of my staff could hear President Trump on the phone asking Ambassador Sondland about the investigations. Ambassador Sondland told President Trump the Ukrainians were ready to move forward. The member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for.
So you heard President Trump ask Ambassador Sondland, is he going to do the investigation?
Yes, sir.
What was Ambassador Sondland's response?
He said, oh yeah, he's going to do it. He'll do anything you ask.
I believe Ambassador Sondland did raise the point of investigations, and I think all of us thought it was inappropriate.
The Ukrainians would have to have the Prosecutor General make a statement with respect to the investigations as a condition of having the aid lifted.
Turn our attention back to the July 25th call. You were in the room. Did anything concern you on the call?
No.
Either of you ever have any evidence of quid pro quo? Mr. Morrison.
No, ma'am.
Ambassador Volker. I did not.
Any evidence of bribery?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Was there a quid pro quo? The answer is yes. I followed the directions of the president.
You really have no testimony today that ties President Trump to a scheme to withhold aid from Ukraine in exchange for these investigations.
Other than my own presumption.
I found the July 25th phone call unusual because, in contrast to other presidential calls I had observed, it involved discussion of what appeared to be a domestic political matter.
The power disparity between the two leaders, my impression is that in order to get the White House meeting, President Zelensky would have to deliver these investigations.
A member of my staff got a question from a Ukraine embassy contact asking what was going on with Ukraine security assistance.
Over the course of 2018 and 2019, I became increasingly aware of an effort by Rudy Giuliani and others, including his associates Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, to run a campaign to smear Ambassador Yovanovitch and other officials at the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv.
Ambassador Yovanovitch, as we sit here testifying, the president is attacking you on Twitter. What effect do you think that has on other witnesses' willingness to come forward and expose wrongdoing?
Well, it's very intimidating.
It's designed to intimidate, is it not?
I mean, I can't speak to what the president is trying to do, but I think the effect is to be intimidating.
I refuse to be part of an effort to legitimize an alternate narrative that the Ukrainian government is a US adversary. These fictions are harmful, even if they're deployed for purely domestic political purposes.
I'm concerned about lowering impeachment standards to fit a paucity of evidence and an abundance of anger. I'm not a supporter of President Trump. I voted against him. My personal views of President Trump are as irrelevant to my impeachment testimony as they should be to your impeachment vote.
This brings us, of course, to the crucial question we're here to talk about today, the standard for impeachment.
Specifically, President Trump has abused his office by corruptly soliciting President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine to announce investigations of his political rivals in order to gain personal advantage, including in the 2020 presidential election.
Imagine living in a part of Louisiana or Texas that's prone to devastating hurricanes and flooding. What would you think if you lived there and your governor asked for a meeting with the president to discuss getting disaster aid that Congress has provided for? What would you think if that president said, I would like you to do us a favor. I'll meet with you, and I'll send the disaster relief once you brand my opponent a criminal.
If you impeach a president, if you make a high crime and misdemeanor out of going to the courts, it is an abuse of power. It's your abuse of power.